In the UK construction industry, the RIBA Plan of Work is still the de facto industry standard for design and process management, and it is also gaining popularity abroad. This update identifies the innovations and trends that are reshaping the construction industry and provides space for them to develop on projects while preserving a clear and robust framework. For instance, 2013 saw its first significant renovation. It was updated to work with any type of procurement, in keeping with its primary function of outlining the design process from briefing to construction. The basic stages of design remained the same, but Stage 0 and Stage 7 were added to acknowledge the need for more strategic thought at the beginning of a project and to reflect the use and lifespan of a building, respectively. The planning process was addressed by a town planning taskbar. The program taskbar acknowledged that, depending on the procurement route, some stages might need to overlap, and the procurement taskbar outlined the tendering tasks that would be required by the selection of the procurement route. Project drivers have changed, making it more challenging to maintain a clear and consistent approach to the project process. These adjustments have included everything from providing the best value to raising ethical awareness. The significance of sustainability, including the development of the circular economy, keeps growing. The design team faces a significant challenge in navigating this broad range of issues, including regulatory compliance, ethical compliance, and global best-in-class approaches, while still adhering to changing client demands. The speed at which technology is developing makes this process even more complex, necessitating constant evaluations and small adjustments to the way projects are carried out. As we move into a time of constant innovation, project teams must continually improve their methods of operation to remain competitive and produce high-quality design work. The RIBA Plan of Work 2020 is not intended to be a contract. It does not, however, state who should handle the main duties. It only outlines the outcomes that the project team must produce at each stage. Project-specific contractual documents are required to bring consistency and clarity to the situation when it comes to the issues of what information is required, who will produce it, and when it needs to be extracted from the design process for use in procurement or discussions with stakeholders. There isn't always a formal, predetermined procedure for designing a building. Unwritten and unrecorded, the way to do it is passed down orally from one professional generation to the next. No matter where in the world a building is needed, the fundamental duties are largely the same. These categories apply to work plans: agree appointments with the professional team, develop a brief with the client, create concept designs options, coordinate the design, prepare a planning application. Apply for planning consent, develop a set of construction information, prepare a tender, obtain consents required prior to construction, award a building contract, construct the building, inspect the construction as it progresses, and hand over the building. This informal strategy works best when buildings are designed using repeatable, consistent, and intuitive procedures, such as when a clear briefing and design process is aligned with a reliable procedure for obtaining statutory consents, and when a single procurement route is reliably used. This method becomes untenable as the design process becomes more complicated and is influenced by a variety of factors, including new forms of procurement, contemporary construction techniques, or new drivers, such as sustainability and maintainability. Without a process map, different project team members will have different ideas of the right way to do it, which will inevitably result in the project being completed inefficiently. To lead clients through briefing, design and construction, handover, and other phases of the design process, a variety of plans of work, or maps of the process, are used globally. In majority countries, industry groups or professional associations set the process maps. These international plans of work differ in several significant ways. Some include stages of tendering, while others are procurement agnostic, putting more of an emphasis on the design than the procurement process. There are typically 2 to 4 design stages. This highlights the difficulties in the design process and the requirement to divide design into several cogent stages, each with a distinct purpose, prior to the start of construction. Few people understand the value of good briefing, which includes determining the need for a building right away, and knowing how to incorporate feedback from previous projects into the brief. Not all consider the building's life after construction. Some are starting to talk about this, though, and how the performance of a building is affected by the design process and the handover procedures for the building. Although each of these plans of work is unique, they all share the same objectives: to give the project team a roadmap for promoting consistency from one stage to the next, and to give clients, who are possibly undertaking their first and only building project, important guidance. Due to the industry's ongoing struggle to find the best ways to improve procurement, the relationship between the client team and the design team has grown more complicated in recent years. Because more and more building design tasks are being performed by specialized subcontractors, the interface between the design team and the construction team has also grown more complicated. This vital project relationship is becoming even more difficult as modern construction techniques are being utilized. This increasing complexity necessitates the lead designer to handle more issues that fall outside the purview of the design team. Depending on the size of the project, the client team may consist of a single person or several organizations and individuals. The client team must compile the project brief, review the design throughout each stage, and evaluate it at the conclusion. They are not responsible for doing any design work. Many client teams work with external professional advisors, while other clients have their own teams to help them through each phase of the project. Although it's common for other specialized consultants, like acousticians or fire engineers, to contribute to the development of the design team, which consists of the architect, structural and building services engineers, and the cost consultant, hasn't changed significantly over the years. To sum up, Consumer Trading Organization Limited will keep hosting additional concepts.